for example, if the Panthers don't take C.J. Stroud number 1 overall, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm not going to take it personal. I would be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
A little disappointed.
I mean, think of Bryce Young, I'd be okay.
I'd be okay. But it's kind of like, it's we talked about dating last week, right? It's kind of like you're dating two chicks. One is definitely the one. But if you miss out on her and you get the other, not bad. There's a couple things you don't like about it. Not bad. but like I'd be okay. I could see us getting together and getting married.
Okay.
That's kind of how I feel about Bryce Young. It's like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't be in a bad position with this. This isn't the worst thing in the world. She's still very beautiful. She just doesn't have all the physical attributes I'm looking for. But that's fine.
Yeah.
She has everything else between the ears.
And that's okay, too.
She has a great personality.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But, hey, if you pair it all together, like we talked about last week, it's an amazing thing. It really is. Yeah. I'm always team go for what you want. Don't settle. Because we talked about this in the past. Do not settle, especially at quarterback. Because that's how you end up with Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield. That's how you start. That's where all that stuff starts rolling in my opinion. Because you settle for something less than what you want, and that's why you end up spending 10 draft picks and DJ Moore to get one player.
Well, that's because you settled for Matt Rule, but that's another discussion.
Well, that's also a thing, too. He also settled
That's another
for
discussion
Matt
for
Rule.
another day.
Yes, family dynamics do matter, people. Now, we know, again, they have the number 1 pick. What is a true reasonable expectation for this team this season? Looking at the division, just knowing what other teams in the division have done or have not done. But we look around, new coaching staff in terms of head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, new position coaches, got rid of all the old regime, basically. Bringing in the number 1 overall pick at quarterbacks, all the free agents that they've signed, they've DJ Chark, Adam Thielen at receiver, Miles Sanders at running back, Hayden Hurst at tight end. They've added depth on their offensive line. They still need to add some pieces on defense, but got guys like Von Bell that they've brought in. I love the moves that they made. Everything is set up. A rookie quarterback can come in and we just be a game manager, really, to start things off and then evolve and grow from there. Is it unreasonable to say Panthers should win the NFC South and win 11 games? Is that unreasonable? Go 11-6, win the NFC South?
11. That's high.
Well, I mean, they won 7 last year.
That's true. Very true. I think at least 10. But let's do this because we know their opponents. We don't know exactly the weeks yet.
Yeah.
But let's go through the opponents, right? So here's what they have at home: Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers. To me, you need to get 2 of those 3.
Yeah.
Those are the people in the NFC South. You need to get 2 of those 3. Then you get so let's put up 2 for that. Then you have Green Bay and the Vikings. I'm sorry, you need to get Green Bay. And I think because the Vikings, I don't know what they're going to do on defense. People still have time, but they were bad on defense last year. Mm-hmm. You need to do that. You need to win that one against the Vikings. So I'm going to put up 4. This is going to be interesting. Texans. The Texans have the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
So if it's C.J. Stroud, it's C.J. Stroud versus Bryce Young or vice versa. But either way, it's going to be those two teams. I think you need to beat the Texans. So let's put up 5. You have the Colts that's coming there.
Okay.
Frank Reich. Your revenge game. Let's put up 6.
Yeah.
And then you have the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are good. That's going to be an L. Okay? So now you're at home. To me, you have to win 6 of the 8. Away, in the division, at least win 1 of those. Okay? So let's say at Falcons. Now we're at 7. At Chicago. Do you think they can win at Chicago?
Yeah.
With the current makeup?
Yeah.
You don't think that would
There's
be
a reason why the Bears had the number 1 overall pick.
You don't think that'll be a DJ Moore revenge game?
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm so on that one. At the Lions.
Yeah.
Win that one?
Yeah, they can.
So we're at 8. At Jags.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 9. At Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
That's 10. At the Seahawks.
I don't know. That's a flip. I don't know. There's still a lot to be determined in terms of who teams draft and things along those lines.
Last one. At the Dolphins, no.
I don't know.
So what we have right now is 10.
Yeah.
I think 10 is that sweet spot.
Okay. All right.
But
so
again,
10 wins is realistic for this team.
Again, we don't know like when they're going to play because a lot of times the when it falls on their schedule, and also of course health has a lot to do with if they're going to win.
There are tons of factors. So. We're just kind of looking outside in.
Yeah.
But again, is it so reasonably 10 wins? So the only now the Atlanta Falcons have made a bunch of big moves in terms of their free agency, but it looks like they're all in on Desmond Ridder. And they brought in Taylor Heineke. Cool. Have fun. Enjoy that. Yeah, the Saints, okay, congratulations, Saints. You brought in Derek Carr. I don't know how much that elevates your team.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people say, oh, their defense is great. Actually, they weren't that great last year. And plus, Michael Thomas never stays healthy, and Alvin Kamara, not only did he not stay healthy much last season, but also has some legal issues. I don't know if he's going to be able to play at different points this season.
Yeah.
And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers they're awful now. Because all the good players that they brought in to manufacture that Super Bowl that they won a couple years ago, a lot of those guys are hurt, gone, or retired. And now they brought in Baker Mayfield as their quarterback.
I just need to see Brian Burns sacking Baker Mayfield. I just need to see
like
that.
7 times.
And Shaq Thompson. Because Shaq Thompson and Baker Mayfield showed up at training camp together last year. They looked like best buds at the time. I just need to see Shaq Thompson lay that wood on Baker.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm hoping that not only just fans, but us as media, with that first pick and with this new staff, it's going to take time for it to come together. Because guys are going to be playing in different roles, have different philosophies, everything's going to be different for this team. I hope we don't put too high of expectations on a number 1 pick. Because I think the worst thing that could happen is we put this number 1 pick on a pedestal. Maybe if it's Stroud or Young, we put them on a pedestal. But if they don't live up to that expectation right out of the gate, game 1, then all of a sudden, like, nope, you're not the guy, you're not the dude, all that kind of stuff. That is a legit fear I think can happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's why you have that insulation in place with the way this coaching staff is made up, and with having Andy Dalton and with getting, and you mentioned it earlier, Hayden Hurst, Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, and it's still not over because, they're building a good defense, made another defensive signing, couple defensive signings actually this past week. And then, you have the draft coming up. You could always get a couple more weapons, a little bit more, protection on the line, things like that. We'll see what happens, but I think whoever this quarterback is, of course, is going to have a great setup. And there's not going to be a lot of pressure for them because it's not like this franchise has been known for winning in the last few years. So that's one. There's not a lot of pressure on you with that.
Yeah.
Even though David Tepper wants to win right now, he even, I think, has the sense to know that this guy is going to be a rookie. There's no way he's going to come in year 1 and just become, Tom Brady. No way.
No.
Right? There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some growing pains. And then, Frank Reich and the new staff, they just kind of have to get everything, together themselves. I think 10 wins is reasonable. I would say that the margin is slim, though, because if you have 10 wins, cool. I don't expect more than that. Also don't expect less than 8 wins.
Yeah.
I don't expect less. Like, if you go 7-10, that is a failure because the team last year did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we saw how messed up things went last year. So it's slim. So, you should definitely get between 8 and 10.